everyone, and welcome to day number 235, 9:01 p.m. on October the 16th. It's a Sunday evening here in the eastern part of the U.S., Sunday afternoon out west. Probably many of you watching tonight, it's already your morning on Monday. We have lots of viewers out there in Australia and Philippines, so good morning to you. Hope you have a great Monday. Very, very busy day, and we're going to get you completely updated and caught up on all the activities. This war is changing by the minute, and tonight you're going to be fully updated. So thank you all for being here, and I wish you all well. Thank you for being a part of this community. Special thank you to our moderators, Jeffrey Burnett out there in California, AT down there in Mexico, B. Rupp. He's out here in Pennsylvania. All of you guys are doing a great job, and it is much, much, much appreciated. Last night we released the website, and I can report to you that people are already using it. People are communicating with me. People are messaging me, and I think we have found a way that we will be able to work together in a more strategic and effective way. So thank you. In fact, something interesting today, it's actually a gentleman I know personally. I had a talk with me and says, Greg, it looks like we're going to have a huge shipment heading over to Ukraine via Poland, and I want to assist. I want to assist in the logistics, assist in the shipment. The way things are going, we're going to ship a container. So keep rolling, everybody, and thank you very much. Of course, we will keep you updated. So let's get to the day's news, the day's updates, and at the end of the program, probably have a good little smile for you on this Sunday evening. Let's start right here. Beautiful picture there, huh? That, of course, as you know well, is the air raid alarm map. That is pretty much how Ukraine has looked all day long. And why would it look like that? Because it's been a very, very active day in the air. Drones have been flying around everywhere. We'll look a little bit closer at that in just a moment at a more detailed map. As well, lots of MiG-31 activity. 517 or 519 of those Russia has built over the life of just the MiG-31, and they are the supersonic aircraft. They're able to carry and deploy nuclear warheads. They're good airplanes, and they have been very, very active, and we'll look at that in just a moment. But because of that, and yes, there has been arrivals, there have been hits. In fact, Mykolaiv right now is on fire. Right now. 9 o'clock hour, Sunday night, 4 o'clock hour in Ukraine. Mykolaiv is struggling tonight, but we'll look at that closer. So let's take a look. Got a whole little bit of a roundabout here. We're going to look at the map, and let me flip over to that for us now. I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner tonight. You see the barbell there with the hand on and the weights. That is attributed to President Lukashenko, the dictator out of Belarus, who came out today and says Belarus will be reinforcing their border even more. I think it's already reinforced. We've been reinforcing it for months and months and months. But today he came out again, an additional 9,000 soldiers coming to the border out of Belarus. And that is on that red line there. From there, I want you to take a look and a peek at the MiG-31s. This is the location the MiGs have been flying all day. And this is a different type of flying. So you see them there on the northern border. They've been running the northern border all day long. Do they run them on other days? Yes, but not at the level of today. Something goofy is going on today in the strategy of Russia. The MiGs have been rolling on the borders between Belarus and Ukraine all day long, as well on the border with Russia and Ukraine all day long. MiG-31s have been in the air nonstop. So it is keeping the air alarms going because these boys can carry the big munitions. They can carry the hypersonic missiles, which is very difficult for Ukraine to stop, if not impossible. It's a challenge, but there's something going on, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. Now, up above that, look over towards Sumy. You see the black lightning bolt there. Sumy today has been struggling to even keep the power on. This is a large city. It's a regional center. It's like the capital city of the region, as I've been teaching you, the Sumy region. They've really been struggling, and Ukraine is doing a good job with power conservation and the rolling blackouts, but it's the reality of life now. And I remind you, October the 16th, it's only going to get colder and more difficult. Kharkiv has been under attack. That would be the red circle top right. Additionally, more soldiers are coming into Rybizhny. Rybizhny is that town located up to the east of Liman, and it is being reinforced not only with Russian soldiers, but also more Chechens are coming. Just below that, the blue circle there would be around the city of Donetsk. Ukraine hit a major target there of the infrastructure of the DNR, the Donetsk People's Republic. I know DNR and DPR in English letters, it would be DPR, but in the Cyrillic alphabet, it's DNR. Donetsky Narodsky Republika. That's Donetsk People's Republic. So there in that headquarters, that regional administration, Ukraine struck the target bullseye today, which will have an effect on that DNR functioning administratively in that region. Absolutely a military target. Over the last 24 hours, coming around to the left, you see the number 40 there. That would be at Nikopol. 40 arrivals in the last 24 hours in Nikopol. Nikopol is a large city, about 105,000 people, but think about that for a moment. 40 arrivals, 24 hours, almost 2 an hour. You say, well, that's not a lot. Well, you ought to be under that sound. It's a lot. And Nikopol is on fire. It's been struck extremely hard. Over the last few hours, Mykolaiv has been under massive assault, and there have been arrivals, and there are some major fires happening in Mykolaiv City right now. When Jania and I were there, we spent much time in Mykolaiv City. It is so beautiful, so gorgeous. Many of you, if you remember when I was in Mykolaiv and I was showing the video up on the 9th floor or 7th floor, and I was looking out and I was showing you toward the direction of Kherson, you could see the river, you could see the ports. That's that beautiful city that is on fire. Odessa also is being struck right now. Below Mykolaiv and Kherson, you see the 3 black arrows pointing down to the south, and you may be asking, what is that? You hear on the news, or you hear the talk that, Russia is evacuating Kherson and they're going down to Crimea. Well, that's only partially true. They are evacuating, but they're not evacuating due to the pressure. It seems they're evacuating due to an operation. So there's lots of rumors flying around. We don't talk about rumors on this program or these updates. We only try to give facts. But the fact is, there's something interesting going on in Kherson. Yes, Ukraine is making good pushes towards Kherson. But this evacuation that is happening may be connected not only to the push of the Ukrainian military, but also to some other things that Russia has up its sleeve. We shall see. Over to the left, Odessa being hit tonight. You can see these southern cities are being hit hard. Finally, you see a yellow arrow pointing up that left side there of Ukraine. Once again, they're doing it again. These drones are coming in from the south. They're flying everywhere. Earlier, I showed you the air alarms all around the city, all around the nation, that is, and all the major cities, all the regions, red basically all day. Why? The drones are flying around everywhere. Are they able to take many of them out of the air? Yes, but not all. And they are going crazy. It is, once again, terrorism. It's the reign of terror. It's wearing the people out, hearing this alarm, hearing these signals on your mobile phone every day. So that's basically what is happening in Ukraine. If you look at that map, it's kind of interesting. A lot of stuff on the peripheral today, all around the outside edges. But thankfully, Kyiv, Zhytomyr, out west, pretty much has been quiet on this Sunday. Now, I can tell you as well, fresh arrivals have come to Belarus. 9,000 more Russian soldiers have arrived in Belarus, being redeployed, being pushed down toward the Ukrainian border. Those numbers are building and building and building. Once again, I'm saying here each night, we cannot ignore it. Yes, it is a distraction. It's logical, but you cannot ignore the distraction that keeps growing and growing and growing. In fact, with that growing today, a train rolling through Minsk headed toward the Ukrainian border headed south to where the positions of these soldiers are, was caught on video, was pushed out by a good Belarusian. And I'm going to show you this now. This is the train today, October 16th, headed through Minsk south toward the Ukrainian border. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, and that is why we cannot ignore it. Now, I want to change gears a little bit on this Sunday night update. I believe that there is a global activity happening, and yes, the major forefront is the war in Ukraine, the terrorist Vladimir Putin, and what is happening in the genocide of the Ukrainian people. But folks, there is a entirely, how can I say it best? There's something crazy going on in this world. There is a much larger game at play. It's not just Russia and Ukraine. We have China and Taiwan. We have Iran, which is daily reinforcing Russia and denying it every day, but they are doing it. And today, we even have Israel getting involved. And I'm talking about serious Israel, not just some journalist over in Jerusalem. Israel making some very direct and strong statements today in regard to what's happening in Iran. So if I flip over here and go back, we can see day 235, the axis of evil gets stronger. I'm calling that axis of evil Russia, China, and Iran. She talking about the invasion of Taiwan. She saying, I will do whatever I want to do. We're going to make this regime stronger. Iran going absolutely nuts with sending equipment to Russia and denying it all day long. Not denying it that they're sending it there, but denying that they're supporting the war. It's complete madness. You know, if you look at that map right there, I have a few nations colored. You have Estonia in purple, Lithuania in purple, Poland in purple, Ukraine in blue. Look how tiny they truly are. You see the two nations in red, Russia wrapping around to China coming underneath, and then over to Iran. Folks, we're talking about a massive amount of territory and control and strategic locations and power between Russia, China, and Iran. Do I think they're in cahoots? Absolutely, they're in cahoots. This is easy to see. Poor Mongolia, swallowed up. Kazakhstan, swallowed up. And we know right below China there is India, which has also been... They haven't been helping Ukraine. Let's leave it at that. For sure, they've not been helping Ukraine. So we'll take a little closer look at this because I believe even this week, we're going to get more details and more understanding as to what is going on. Here's what I can tell you specifically. Iran came out and they are now supplying not only drones. And last night, I think it was, we were talking about the second type of drone that they were supplying to Russia. Now they are supplying heavier missiles, heavier munitions, the Fatah 110 and the Zulfiqar missiles. These guys have a range of 300 kilometers and 700 kilometers respectively. But more importantly, they can carry the heavy munitions. So we say, okay, Russia is using up their supply of some of these missiles, using up their supply of these other missiles. Well, they're just receiving more from Iran. And it doesn't look like this is going to stop anytime soon. Therefore, we have some comments coming out. What are the comments? Well, the first comment is coming out from Nachman Shai. And you may be wondering who Nachman Shai is. I've got him right here because I looked him up before I shared this. You know, is this some, because I didn't know the name. Is this just some, journalist sitting over in a cafe in Haifa? No, Nachman Shai, Israeli minister of the diaspora. He has a governmental position. He was also deputy speaker. He was also the IDF spokesperson, the Israeli Defense Forces. The guy is legit. He reports today, this morning. This morning it was reported that Iran is transferring ballistic missiles to Russia. There is no longer any doubt where Israel should stand in this bloody conflict. The time has come for Ukraine to receive military aid as well, just as the USA and NATO countries provide. Hello, my friends. This is a game changer. Not a game changer just in what Israel can supply. That's not what I'm talking about. But this right here will change the entire environment. If this happens and we see a supply coming into Ukraine and Israel getting more involved militarily, folks, Iran is going to lose their mind. I believe this is why Iran is picking up the pace supplying Russia right now. For sure, these countries know what is happening. They see what is going on, but this very direct statement for Israel to get involved. Over on the right, Xi opens Chinese Communist Party Congress with a vow to take over Taiwan. They can take it over politically or they can take it over militarily. It's not saber rattling only. This stuff's in the works. Why? Because the world is watching. Yes, participating in helping some nations. Watching what is happening in Ukraine from Russia. The Global Times. This is the state media of China. This is the approved one, the official one. They write today, with the current grim security situation in Ukraine, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Chinese Embassy in Ukraine on Saturday urged Chinese citizens in the country to enhance safety precautions and evacuate. The embassy will assist in organizing the evacuation of people in need. Isn't this reminiscent of February and March when this war began, or this phase of the war began? Evacuations? China, what do you know? Egyptian embassy in Kyiv urges nationals to leave as soon as possible. What? Egypt, what do you know? Is this a coincidence? I don't know. I can tell you we do not chase rumors here. We only look for the facts and hunt the truth. But I can tell you right now, there's something goofy going on. I think we could be looking at a major week ahead of us in the war in Ukraine. Why? Additionally, Russia is reconvening. Vladimir Putin is reconvening the Russian Security Council within the next 48 hours. I remind you that the last time they convened was the day before, the morning of the dual day of massive missile assaults all throughout the nation. You see Vladimir Putin there. Up on his shoulder, you see Dmitry Peskov, his spokesperson. He even had this to say today.
НАТО де-факто уже влезла в этот конфликт, но это никоим образом не влияет на наши все целеполагания. То есть операция продолжается, и она будет доведена до конца.
Насколько нам из-за этого тяжелее?
Существенно тяжелее. Это требует, наверное, нашей такой внутренней экономической и иной мобилизации. Одно дело это киевский режим, а другое дело это потенциал НАТО. Это дополнительная нагрузка. Но наш потенциал позволяет продолжать в этих условиях операцию.
So those are the words of Dmitry Peskov talking about NATO, talking about the pressures. We see the meetings in Russia will be happening supposedly within the next 48 hours. We see all the things that are happening with the nations in that region and around the world. We see the calls for nations for their citizens to evacuate again. Here we are mid-October, not February and March. Something for sure is going on, and I believe that we're going to see some major adjustments this week in the war. I do not know what they're going to be, but we're going to see them. With that said, I want to move us on tonight on this Sunday night and give you a smile. It's a tough smile, but it's a good smile. Of course, Russia has been destroying so much infrastructure, homes, roads, residences, buildings, just indiscriminately. But I'm going to tell you something. There is a strength in the Ukrainian people. Today, I received a video. It was called Before and After. You're going to see some photos before, and you will see the destruction. And then the person drops the picture down, and you see the buildings that have already been repaired. All of this during these 6 months of war. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Forget that. 8 months of war. Sorry, we've been doing this every day. I knew 6 didn't sound right. 8 months of war. You can see the strength and the belief in their own nation. Ukraine is not, when possible, letting their buildings just sit there. Now, where are buildings just sitting there? Mariupol. And it's not Ukraine's fault. It's taken over by Russia. Other places that are completely occupied, it's complete destruction. But where Ukraine is, they rebuild. That's the promise of Zelensky and the government in Kyiv. It's not some evil regime. They're good leaders and they're good people. Here's a little bit of before and after. This will give you a smile. The Ukrainians truly are amazing people, and that is why we're working together as a community to support and to do all that we can to help in this war. You can see some of that before and the beauty of the after. And I'll tell you something else. You're talking about creative and just technologically advanced. That's what an amazing video. Hold the picture up and then drop it down, and you can see the reconstruction behind the picture. Absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you tonight, that was not computer animation. Those were the real deals. I've personally witnessed it. I've personally been through cities where you go through one day and there's a strike and the road is destroyed, and Jania and I would be out and we'd come back through 2 days later and the road's repaired. I mean, that's what Ukraine does. They're doing everything they can to rebuild their nation and win the war. You guys are amazing, and you are definitely appreciated. We are growing. Everything is good. I can tell you, our website is working. If you do not know about it, please go there, gregterry.org, gregterry.org. Everything we do, all of our validation, and it's going to grow even bigger. Together, as it says, we can make a difference. So there you have it, folks. You are up to date on this Sunday night, October the 16th. Much appreciation and much love. And as always, continue to pray for Ukraine. We stand with Ukraine. We support Ukraine, not only with our prayers, but with our action, with our finances, with boots on the ground, everything that we can do to support them. So tonight, I bless you. Enjoy your Sunday evening or your Monday, wherever you're at. Peace to you and peace to Ukraine. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.